Hello and welcome to How to Play Rat-A-Tat-Tat, presented by GatherTogetherGames.com. This video will cover all the aspects to the card game Rat-A-Tat-Tat. The game is played with 2 to 4 players. The game is played with a standard 52 card deck. Each player is dealt 4 cards, 1 card at a time. Players do not look at their cards. The remaining cards are placed into the middle with the top card flipped up to start the discard pile. Each player's cards are lined up in a row face down. The object of the game is to have the lowest value for your 4 cards when your cards are flipped up at the end. Before play begins, each player is able to look at his 2 outside cards and then puts them back down. Players will want to remember the cards for the game. In this example, you will be able to see the cards each player draws. In an actual game, you will keep your drawn cards hidden from the other players. The player left of the dealer is first to play. Player 2 has the option to pick up the top card on the deck or the top card on the discard pile. If the top card of the discard pile is drawn, the player will swap it with one of his 4 cards. The card that was swapped is placed face up on the discard pile. Play then moves to the next player. Player 3 has the same option to pick up the top card of the deck or the top card of the discard pile. If the top card of the deck is drawn, the player decides to either swap it with one of his cards or puts the drawn card on the discard pile. Player 3 will swap out a card. There are 3 special cards during gameplay. If a jack is drawn, a player is able to look at one of his cards. The jack is then discarded. If a queen is drawn, a player is able to switch one of his cards with a card from any player. The cards remain face down during the switch. The queen is discarded. The king has a value of 0. When drawn, a player will want to swap it for one of his cards. Play continues clockwise until a player feels confident he has a low overall value for his cards. Player 1 feels he has low-valued cards. He knocks and announces rat-a-tat-tat. Once each player has taken their last turn, all the cards are revealed and the player with the lowest value of cards wins the game. The numbered cards have a value of the number. For example, a 2 has a value of 2. Aces are worth 1 point, kings are worth 0 points. The jacks and queens have a value of 11 points if in a player's hand at the end. With a card value of 4, player 1 wins this game. A card look for a jack or a card switch for a queen only occurs when a jack or queen is drawn from the deck. If a jack or queen is discarded as a result of a card swap, the card stays in the discard pile. The next player must draw from the deck. If the middle deck of cards runs out before a player has announced rat-a-tat-tat, the game is over. All players flip up their cards and count their value. That wraps up How to Play Rat-A-Tat-Tat. Thanks for watching.